So tell us more about how you love Star Wars, Chris.
I didn't care for it.
Did you actually not like it, or was it just whatever?
It was just whatever. I've said before on the show that I'd never really cared about the movies.
Yeah.
I like it as like a device for video games.
Yeah, fun setting to play in.
Yeah, fun setting to play in. Oh, yeah. Sparkle, sparkle. So yeah, I wasn't like hard into it or anything. When I got the spoiler that Han died, and I'm gonna say it a bunch of times. So
just fucking say it's all over the internet, dude. I can't imagine how anyone hasn't heard that spoiler already. People have gone out of their way to spread that information to you, no matter where you are. Like, you could be playing fucking Super Mario Maker, and you get to the fucking end of your level or whatever, and one of the comments on the fucking level that you beat is, Han dies.
Right, that's the name of, like, the level that you made.
Yeah, it's that extent. That's the extent to which that shit is out there.
Man,
like,
I will say this, alright.
Can't ignore it.
Enough about Star Wars, let's talk about Harry Potter.
Oh, boy. One for another.
There's a band that I listen to called the Lawrence Arms.
Okay.
And they posted some status on Facebook or like a blog or some shit once.
Okay.
As you know, bands often do.
Right.
And in the thing, it was just a list of spoilers, like Darth Vader is shit.
You're doing so well.
I know. Like Darth Vader is Skywalker's father, and Dumbledore dies, and all this shit. Just a bunch of spoilers that I knew to be true. And right in the middle of all that was the sentence that, just 2 words, Hermione dies. I lost my fucking shit. Because I hadn't read the books at that point.
Right.
And I was only watching the movies back when it was just getting okay to be in love with Emma Watson.
Oh, yeah.
She wasn't 8, or she wasn't like 12 anymore, so...
I'm pretty sure she's like exactly my age, so it was always okay for me to be attracted to her.
Yeah, for you, but not me.
And the ironic part is that I'm not. I don't get the hype. I mean, she's nice looking, but Jesus, calm down.
Anyway, so I read that Hermione dies. Like, on that fucking, like, band's page.
That's pretty fucking troll, dude, to just throw that in there.
And a bunch of shit that I knew was true because I've seen or read all of that, you know?
Right.
Anyway, so that's the only reason I read all 7 of the Harry Potter books in, like, the same week.
This is chewy.
Jesus, that's some fast reading.
They're good books.
So what the fuck is this thing? Why are we chasing this guy?
He's the writer. These are all a bunch of bottles of wine, and he doesn't want to give up the script for whatever reason.
Okay. So
he keeps ducking into bottles of wine to get away from his responsibilities.
Wow. That's some fucking deep shit right there.
Yeah, pretty on point for somebody who spent the majority of her childhood in a coma. Like, how much of that do you think she really witnessed?
Yeah. Anyway, how devastated were you when Hermione didn't die?
I was relieved.
You were relieved?
Yes.
Why?
Because I like Hermione.
If it was going to happen at the end of the book.
No, really though, have you read those?
I haven't read the last one, but you know, I've got most of the spoilers for it, but I haven't read the last one or seen the last movie or whatever.
Last book was really fucking good, dude.
I should watch. I mean, I used to be I wasn't like, there was a time where I was really into Harry Potter. I think I've read through 6. I think I read the one where Dumbledore dies at the end, I think. Which I believe is the 6th. So I'm pretty sure I've read that one, but I really don't remember. It's been so long now.
He died at the end of the 5th one, I think.
Oh. Well, it's been so long now that I'd have to reread that shit, and I don't really want to do that. I guess I could just go read like a synopsis, but I'm not going to get all the, subtle little things that are talked about, which is kind of half the point of reading those books, because there's so much like little shit going on.
She like a lot of people that write children's literature, like they pick like 8-year-olds, right? And they continuously write for 8-year-olds. But what Rowling did was she picked 8-year-olds at the time. And then the next year she wrote for 9-year-olds, and then the next year she wrote for 10. She like
I think it started at like 12, didn't it?
whatever it was. I'm just throwing out random fucking numbers.
Right. Yeah, no, that was a pretty fucking smart move because like the first book was a fucking hit, and it was a hit with like the target age group, and then she just kept writing for those specific kids as they grew up.
Yeah. And it was really well done, and that's one of the reasons I wound up reading all that crap, because I read like the first one in high school. We were in this bullshit fucking like gifted and talented program or whatever.
I was in one of those too.
Well, ours was put together the day of the first day of school.
Okay.
And the reason being is that the school was given money for that.
Okay.
But instead they put it towards football. So I guess somebody either found out about it or was coming to check out the progress on the gifted and talented program, and they're like, oh, fuck. And then they just kind of... the principal and the guidance counselor are like sitting in the cafeteria, and they like pick out 5 people randomly who have decent grades, and I was one of them.
Wow, you had decent grades in high school?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Me and Russ both.
Interesting.
Russ and I were both in that class. But that class consisted of 5 people.
Okay.
It was put together at the last minute.
Were any of them hot chicks?
2 of them were, actually.
Okay. Cool.
I don't remember the 5th person. Anyway.
It's not important. He's probably dead.
If it was a he. I don't want to jump on that one yet. Here we go.
Anyway, you had to read Harry Potter for that?
Yeah, okay, so we were getting ready for a UIL competition or whatever.
Okay.
And there was a list of books that were recommended or whatever, and I don't know where the fuck this list came from. I'm not a teacher, and I certainly wasn't the one that got saddled with this fucking responsibility at the last minute with no preparation. So, the Harry Potter was on that list of books. So we read that, and when we did, I actually liked it, but I never got around reading the subsequent books until after I heard the Hermione dies thing.
Okay.
Crunch, wake up, bitch. Ugh, he just peed on me.
Fucking crop dusted you on his way out. What the fuck? What an asshole.
Okay, I guess I'm going this way. Anyway,
I read something that was describing like squid ink soup or whatever, where like, you know, you cook squid, you eat its ink as well, and it's like this is the caption or whatever was like, this is the epitome of like being at the top of the food chain because we killed this thing and then we ate it bathed in its defense mechanism.
Fuck yeah.
Anyway, go on. Hermione doesn't die.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so we went to this UIL competition, and all of us had read... We watched, like, the movie of Phantom of the Opera. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen Phantom of the Opera in any form at all, ever. You're not missing much.
Okay. Good music, though. Nice.
That may look like it was an accident.
No.
It wasn't.
I trust everything that you're doing.
No,
I've been watching so many speedruns lately that I just blindly trust everything that happens, because, like, if you fucking almost die, or if you kill yourself, I'm like, oh, it's probably faster if he, you know, kills himself right here.
Nah, not at all.
He goes to, like, a checkpoint ahead of where he is.
You see that purple light shit? I mean, it's pretty subtle if you don't know to look for it.
Yeah.
But that's how I track those if I'm not in shrink mode.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
You didn't read them until you find out Hermione died. That was the last
thing. No, the UIL thing.
Oh, yeah, the UIL competition.
So, we spent like a month, and there's quote fingers for that.
Okay.
Preparing for this fucking thing.
Uh-huh. You're not gonna break that chest back there?
There's a chest?
Remote in time and space.
I guess not.
I think it's on the left side there.
Memory offers it.
Yeah, you looked right at it. I was like, I guess he doesn't want that.
Nope.
Oh, well. Anyway, UIL competition, go.
Yeah, okay, so we get in there and, you know, those are the books we read. The fucking reading list that she produced out of goddamn nowhere, that's what we read.
Uh-huh.
So we get in there and then
like the list of books she kind of wanted to read.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know where she got it from, but we get in there and as soon as the test starts, they're like, hey, open the books, or open your test books. All of us do. All 5 of us are in this fucking thing.
Yep.
We read the first question, and all 5 of us were like looking around the room with this what the fuck look. I have no idea what the fuck book it was talking about. We didn't know any of the answers to any of those questions. I finished that test in 4 minutes. Because I just went through and, drew as many dicks as I could without repeating answers on the same row or something. Like, I don't know.
To get a wide variety of dicks. Can't just pick C for every answer, guys. You gotta mix it up.
The fucking Scantron machine probably blushed. That's all I'm saying. Ugh, of course I gotta go over there.
Well, its cousin, the scanner, got to see all the ass. Gotta mix it up a little bit.
Indeed.
I remember taking those, like, I don't remember if they called it UIL, but yeah, basically like writing tests. We had to do like a lot of writing shit, written answers to questions, basically, in those like whatever gifted and talented classes. I always tested really well in those, and to this day I don't know why, because I would find some vaguely like, oh, this sounds a little deep sounding, I'll write about this interpretation of this, and then I'd get a really good grade for it. And like looking back on it now, it's like that was the stupidest shit I could have said. Why did you guys reward me for that?
Right? You've ruined you've ruined how I perceive life and success.
Well, one last thing about written essays before we cut this episode. I hate writing essays. I think it's the stupidest fucking thing ever. I think it's like boring as shit, and there's no point. I had to write the last essay I wrote was in college for my programming class. Of all fucking classes, and I swear to God, the universe did not want me to learn to program. My fucking teacher, my programming teacher, made me write a fucking essay on like a 40-year-old paper on how hard it is to teach programming. And it's like, are you just trying to tell me that I should give up? Like,
yeah, right?
Anyway, we had to write like a fucking 4-page front and back essay. And I did all the fucking tricks. I went in and I like highlighted all the periods, and I made the periods a bigger font so that they weren't actual.
I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, you make them bigger, and then periods don't actually get bigger, but it spaces the things out a little bit more in a very subtle way, and stuff like that. Just that level of shit. And
really
for the first,
squeezing that turd for all the font space you can get. Right?
For the first 2 pages, I wrote basically what the source material said. I just went through it. I was like, I understand what this says. I'm going to copy it, put it in quotations in my essay, and then restate it in other words. I did that for 2 pages. Then the next 2 pages, I literally just rambled. I didn't talk even about programming. I got a fucking A on that shit. Dude doesn't even fucking read it. This is stupid.
My calculus teacher graded on completion, not on whether or not we were actually right.
And if there's one class you don't need to be right about, it's calculus.
This is a math class. I turned in a paper once that was just a paragraph of how much I like candy. Good game, A+.
All right. See you guys later.